Speedrunning tricks are pretty hard, but that isn't always the case. Some are actually quite easy, so that begs the question, what is the easiest trick in speedrunning? The BLJ? If you answered with that, you ain't seen nothing yet. I've got some really interesting picks. The date is August 31st, 2017. In the 3 or so months leading up to this date, a few glitch hunters, including the likes of Solidified Gaming and Really Tall, began breaking apart Mario and Luigi Partners in Time with brand new glitch discoveries. Up until this point, the game only had one major skip, but that was rapidly changing. These glitch hunters had their eyes on the game's holy grail, Gate Skip. About a third of the way through the game, a time portal leading to the game's final area, Shrewd Castle, opens after defeating Sunnyside and learning the Bros Ball ability. The entrance is blocked by a gate that will only open upon collecting 5 Cobalt Star shards, and there is supposed to be no way past. However, if you could bypass the gate, you could skip several areas of the game, and save well over an hour in a speedrun. But much like the infamous barrier in Wind Waker, Gate Skip was a seemingly impenetrable obstacle for nearly 12 years. That is, until August 31st, where after several failed ideas and setups, Solidified Gaming had finally broken through, and as it turns out, it's the easiest skip in the entire game. So easy, in fact, that anyone could get it within a minute, even if they've never played the game before. Just go up to this corner, subscribe to my YouTube channel, quickly tap left, enter the Bros Ball form, and you're in. No practice required, low mechanical skill, very consistent, and works as an amazing party trick. Qualities that perfectly describe the easiest skips in speedrunning, and there are more just like this one. Let's check out one of the largest skips in Final Fantasy VII, discovered by Tomatina back in 2012. Towards the end of Disc 2, after defeating the Diamond Weapon and heading towards the North Crater, a cutscene will begin where Hojo is attempting to fire the Sister Ray at the crater. Normally after this cutscene ends, you're supposed to parachute down to Midgar and work your way to the cannon's mainframe to stop Hojo. However, this whole Midgar revisit can be completely skipped. All you have to do is hold down right and X on the controller during this part of the cutscene, until the skip just works. It's literally that easy. With this buffered input, an invisible cloud walks into the dialogue trigger behind Hojo during a single frame, which then prompts the dialogue just before the Hojo fight, skipping the Midgar revisit entirely and saving between 10 to 15 minutes in the speedrun. A weird side effect after performing this glitch results in the music disappearing until you reset the console, however, which speedrunners rarely do when finishing a run. It's a tad unfortunate. Sometimes, an easy skip can be the result of a massive oversight, as seen in speedruns of Ratchet and Clank 2 going commando. After collecting every platinum bolt in the game and fully upgrading every weapon, you gain access to a secret area in the special menu known as the Insomniac Museum. Named after the developer studio Insomniac Games, the museum contains developer commentary, as well as some cut content from Ratchet 1 and 2. The museum can also be accessed using a teleporter on the planet Bolden, which is about 2/3 of the way through the game. But the teleporter is only active when the PlayStation 2 internal clock is between 3 and 4 AM. However, you can exit the museum using a teleporter to Bolden anytime. The most popular speedrun categories for the Ratchet and Clank games are the New Game Plus categories, where you start a new game with all your weapons and upgrades from a previous file, including access to the Insomniac Museum. A massive oversight on the developer's part, because from the beginning of a New Game Plus file, you can warp straight to the museum and right to Bolden, skipping 2/3 of the game right then and there, making the world record speedrun a little over 7 minutes long. I'm not even sure if I could call this a trick, rather just a massive oversight. As a result, the New Game Plus category would be split into 2 categories, one that allowed the Insomniac Museum glitch, and one that banned it. And that's not all for Ratchet and Clank 2. While researching for this video, a new, stupidly easy skip was just discovered, albeit one that saves a minute and a half rather than most of the game. In September 2022, speedrunner and glitch hunter Pentali discovered an oddity when loading the ship menu when pressing triangle and holding down. Vol was completely floored when instead of starting the dogfight in the Wupash Nebula, he had completely skipped Wupash, landing instead in Maktar, which is supposed to be after Wupash. Man, I'm really starting to notice a recurring theme of holding these buttons down. Anyways, the glitches I've mentioned up to this point were discovered years after the game's original release. But sometimes, it only takes one day to completely break a game. If you're at all familiar with Sonic Boom, this game and this glitch hardly needs any introduction. But for the uninitiated, Sonic's arms are blue. More importantly, this otherwise boring and terrible game becomes way more fun when you play as Knuckles. You can use his special move, pause the game, unpause, special move, pause, unpause, and you can just jump forever. The Knuckles Infinite Jump glitch was found by Sonic speedrunner Darkspine Sonic on November 12, 2014, just one day after the game came out, and then everyone started using it. And I mean everyone.
I'm the king of the world, baby! Look at those polygon fucking oceans.
Man, I'm going all the way up.
Are you
Go all the way up.
You're not gonna stop on the cliff?
All right, so yeah, let's see the cliff. Here I am.
Yeah!
Oh, no!
Because of how game-breaking and easy this glitch was, people were already beating Sonic Boom in under an hour, and it hadn't even been out for a full week. It's also worth noting that there are other glitches in Sonic Boom that involve similar pause abuse, such as with Sonic's Spin Dash, that are more useful and faster in speedruns than the Knuckles jump. Regardless if you intend to use the most optimal strats, I recommend trying to speedrun this game in under an hour if you've got a Wii U and a copy laying around. Hell, when researching for this video, I ordered a copy just because I wanted to do that. Only for the game to arrive at my house, bent and broken. I must be the only person in the world upset about this. Well, shoot. I was really looking forward to running a relatively short game with such easy glitches, especially the ones with pausing, but it seems I'm out of luck. But then it hit me. I suddenly remembered Strider on the NES. Now, this may sound like a random and somewhat obscure game to speedrun, but believe me, it's pretty well known within the greater speedrun community for its low barrier of entry. Low enough to where anyone, and I mean anyone, can learn how to speedrun this game and complete a sub 10-minute run easily within an hour. Don't believe me? This was demonstrated at AGDQ 2018, where in a unique tutorial showcase, a runner of the game, Darkman78, taught Jimmy Poopins, someone who had never even played the game before, everything he needed to do in half an hour, before Jimmy would perform his first run live on GDQ. Having not even played the game 30 minutes ago, Jimmy managed to complete a run in a little over 8 minutes. So, what tricks make Strider speedrunning so damn easy? Well, there are actually 3 of them that come to mind. The first are the wall zips. Admittedly, this one may be the hardest easy trick I'm highlighting in this video, but it's still pretty simple. Crouch and face away from the wall, stand back up by releasing the diagonal on the D-pad, press the direction towards the wall, and then the start button a frame later. In my experience, this is almost simultaneous and easy to get the timing down. Then hold that same crouching diagonal from before, unpause by pressing start again, release, and repeat. Eventually, you'll clip far enough into the wall where your character starts to vertically wrap around the screen, allowing you to skip major sections of the game. The second is probably the largest skip in the entire game. After finishing your visit in the first level, Kazakh, you will have the option to warp to new locations after analyzing the data that you obtained. You can visit Australia pretty early, but you aren't intended to make significant progress here until you get a key to open up the level 5 security doors much later in the game. However, if you jump over this enemy in front of this locked door, turn around to face them, and just stand there, menacingly, this happens. By doing nothing, you've just skipped 90% of the game. And it doesn't end here either. On January 10th, shortly after the Strider tutorial showcase at AGDQ 2018 concluded, Aldriel, a speedrunner attending that very same event, tried out the game for the first time in the practice room, and in the process, accidentally discovered a new huge skip in the game's final level, Red Dragon. It's also very easy. A real surprise, I know. By mashing the select button as soon as the level loads, you can select the jump upgrade, unpause, and mash jump before hitting the ceiling, and you'll wrap around the screen and end up in the final boss's room. And after an easy setup, boom, you've skipped the entire level and beat the game. This combination of very easy tricks, the AGDQ tutorial, and the new skip led to a new wave of people to run the game, and a new world record. Hell, while I was still researching for this video, I couldn't help but try out for myself. And for my first run, I got a time of little over 5 minutes. I'd never even played the game until an hour ago. With a game like Strider on the NES, you'd be hard-pressed to find another speedrun as short, fun to play, and unbelievably easy. I did find Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, though. That checks 2 out of the 3 boxes at least. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly is a very interesting game. You don't see many games that have a portal to the final boss fight right in the starting area. Sure, it appears to be deactivated, but speedrunners, as well as casual players, found it very easy to skip straight to the final boss against Ripto as soon as the game began. It's incredibly easy to clip through these gates like this, as well as using the swimming in the air glitch, which allows Spyro to swim straight into the loading zone to the Ripto fight. Like Strider, this was an incredibly broken and easy game to pick up, and anyone can learn to complete a run under 5 minutes easily. As easy as the speedrun was, though, it was about to get much easier. In early 2014, Spyro glitch hunter and speedrunning legend, Tuval, found a much faster clip. Here's how it goes. By head bashing into this corner, you'll just fall right in. The game had met its match. Ripto does put up more of a fight than Strider's final boss though, and with very little practice, anyone can complete a run in less than 2 minutes. I just wish it was fun. Oh, that's better. A Link to the Past is a game anyone can beat in 3 minutes. I'm dead serious. Just follow my lead. Upon entering Hyrule Castle for the first time, we're going to climb up the stairs, hop off a ledge, and save and quit while in midair. Next, we're going to boot up the save file, avoid getting hit by any enemies until we climb up these stairs. Then we're going to head left and lure this guard over to me while I hold left. If done correctly, I will have successfully pulled off the exploration glitch. I just need to take a few more steps to the left, head up here, take a right, and then hold up to win. Easy. So far, we've seen large sequence breaks, wall clips, zips, and infinite jumps. All of them are very easy. So of course, I've saved the most hilarious one for last. In the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, it is possible to clip through walls and beat the game in a little over 2 minutes, and your average Joe could probably do it in under 10. By running towards a wall, quick saving, exiting to the main menu, and reloading your save while holding forward as the game loads, you have a solid chance to clip through the walls before the whole world loads. But this actually isn't the skip or even the game I wanted to talk about. Instead of Oblivion, why not talk about the so-called Oblivion Killer, Two Worlds? In the first town of this game, this robed fellow here is secretly the final boss. But you're not supposed to know that yet. Also, if you attempt to kill him here, you have no chance of winning. However, on the early PC versions of the game, you can trigger the end credits if you manage to kill him this early. But how do you do this when you're so weak? It's simple. It just takes a village. If you aggro him and have him kill you with a fireball near a villager, the splash damage from the fireball will hurt them, and when you respawn, you will see that the whole town is beating his ass until he dies. Lamau. Well, those were some neat party tricks. Now you try.